Hi Cinda, congrats on first. Hi T, congrats on second. Hi Spoop, congrats on third. I don't have any sounds playing today. I'm gonna be muted for a lot of this, for the start, but I don't know why Daily Bread isn't working actually. Oh, that's why. Oops, shit. Let me give you an... Hold on, before you redeem your Daily Breads, hold on, give me a second. I have to redo it. My program wasn't open. Thank you, Ash, for this. My alerts are supposed to be off. Why? What? There we go. I'm supposed to not have things on right now. There we go. Now Bread is working. I'm so sorry, everybody. Y'all don't gotta do this. Hi, Kerfluffle. Let me read chat and stuff. Hi, Starfish. Hi, Cat. Hi, Ash. Thank you both so much. Hi, Frost. Hi, Tofu. Hi, Zephyr. Hi, Void. Hi, TL. Plum Bob, thank you. Kerfluffle, hello. Cinda, Goblin, Mecool. Hi, Jane. Hi, Goblin. Hi, homies. Hi, Bats. Hi, Fan. Hi, Ducky. Hi, Zephyr. It's good to see y'all. It's gonna be a very chill vibe right now. I have a lot to talk about. I'm gonna get to that in a bit. Hi, Circle. It's good to see you, homie. Hope you've been well. I haven't seen you in a hot minute, but I've seen you around places. I know that you're very active in your little spots, and it's been good to see. Hi, Jaggy. Hi, Meryl. I appreciate it. Hi, Chu. It's great to see you. It's so pretty, it is. I love it a lot. Hi, Hope. That's definitely a name I need to see right now, it's just Hope. Oh yeah, I need to post this on Blue Sky and stuff too. I'm not gonna do any like liking and retweeting. I'm not gonna do any I'm not gonna do any of my normal stuff. This is going to be very down to business. I'm not gonna mince words. This is gonna be a heavier stream. And it's not gonna be a whole stream. It's just gonna be me talking about stuff and then kind of going on from there. Hi, Dooblooms. Good to see you. It's a stream that needs to happen, and I'll talk about it at length. But yeah. Please let these addeds run mods. But yeah. I'm not gonna have alerts. I'm not gonna have any of our goofy little things on the side. This is purely just like, I gotta get through this. And no matter what, I appreciate y'all being here. Foxtrot, good to see you. The big thing about this is if you care about Angel and I's combined community and like us as individuals, this is going to be an important stream for that. Hi, Kit. Talk like Mickey? Yeah, no. I'm not going to be looking at chat a lot. I'm going to be prioritizing talking about stuff. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of time. I'm going to talk a little bit while I'm on this screen and then kind of get to the next one when I can. Noted, yeah. I don't mean to, I know this is normally a very chill, vibey space, but today it needs to be very serious about things that have happened and things that I need to talk about. And yeah. Thank y'all for the hype train, I really appreciate it. Yeah, big real talk day. And I mean it when I say this. This is a real talk with the intention of holding myself accountable. So if after you hear what you hear today, you feel as if you can't vibe here, I understand. So is it just pure falling asleep? Love you all. Hi, dearest. No worries, I appreciate it. I don't have my, I'm so sorry, Jag. I don't have any of my stuff on. Dearest, take care of yourself. I hope you've been doing well as well. I'm gonna vibe a little bit. This isn't a stream that's supposed to, I'm not trying to garner viewership numbers. I'm not like, but I'm waiting for the chat to fill up with people who need to hear it, who I want to hear it, and all of that jazz. This music is nice. I really like it. I just looked up somber Nintendo playlist, so it's really nice. Oh, that's Paper Mario. No, now I might cry. That's Boggly Woods. That's the great tree from Boggly Woods. Aw, 1,000-year door stuff. No, fuck off. Not me already tearing up. Shut the fuck up. I appreciate it, Jag. You don't owe me anything though. No, I agree, Sergal. I agree. Thank you, Willow. 16 months is a hot minute, yeah. Yeah, dearest. Okay, there's ads right now, so I'm gonna wait on the ads. But yeah. For those who can hear right now, a big thing about all of this is I talk a lot about accountability. You guys have heard me talk about streamers who have done stinky stuff, and I have been very, very vocal about how much that bothers me and how 90% of the time they hurt people and then try to get away with it. And I have hurt someone, they have made it known to me, and I would like to tell everybody this isn't like my side of the story. This is me explaining what has happened. This is me explaining what I've been told by Angel, how they were treated, and this is me talking about going forward. So if you guys aren't here for a heavy conversation, love you, Scotch, I appreciate you. If you guys aren't here for a heavy conversation, please be very mindful. I'm waiting for ads to finish. They have 40 more seconds. In the meantime, I appreciate everybody who's here. whether you are here in any semblance of support, here to hear what I talk about apology-wise, or anything in between. I'm really grateful for everybody. It means a lot. And yeah. 12 a.m., yeah. I honestly might just play that song the entire time because 12 a.m. is one of my favorite tracks. 12 a.m. and ACNL. ACNL sounds very... I don't want ads. I swear YouTube has been so annoying with ads. Hi, Min. Good to see you. No, yeah, that's fair. I appreciate that. Yeah, all of the early morning and late night ones are really, really good. Back from the ads. Okay, good. Thank you. Hi. Terrible start. Hi, everyone. My voice is shot. I have been talking a lot and also barely at all for a few days. I would normally put up a PNG right now, but I feel like this isn't deserving of that. I need to be on screen. For those who do and don't know what happened, I'll explain it. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure everyone who is here knows. But I'll get into it. I'll say right now, I'm not going to be interacting with chat a lot. So I'm not going to be... I'll be reading, but I'm not going to be commenting on stuff. I'm going to primarily just be focusing on talking about what's going on. If I make a jokey joke to seem lighthearted, it's because I'm trying not to sob about stuff. What's going on, but I hope you feel better eventually. I'm going back to 12 a.m. This is a big emotional thing, and this is not me trying to garner sympathy. This is me talking about how I unintentionally... Are you sure that was 12 a.m.? That was not 12 a.m. What the fuck was that? It's 1 a.m. It was 1 a.m. New Leaf, it was 1 a.m. I'm no longer sure, but you were close. There you go. This is, again, accountability. This is, again... 60 minutes away, yeah. This is, again, talking about something that happened. And how I am going forward. I have every intention to work on myself from what I'm about to tell you, but it is important that I talk about it. I have a Google document I'll be posting at some point in time for anybody who doesn't want to listen. And Angel's posting their own thing as well. And I've talked to Angel since. We're on much better terms. And for those who don't know, Angel and I are no longer together. And it has been very hard. We were together for 3 years, and I'll be talking a lot about it. And I did a lot of damage that I didn't realize. And the damage that I did realize, I didn't think was as bad as it was. There was a lot of single-sided bad shit. And again, none of this will be an excuse for what has happened. This is me owning up to a lot of the shit that I did. Because no matter how much of it is unintentional, it did a lot to somebody that I love and still love and will always love. A lot of the confidence to do this came from them because we've had conversations since it happened. This isn't just me trying to rally everyone to my side or anything. Angel and I have had a lot of discussions and had a lot of conversations since it happened. And I am extremely grateful for them wanting to still keep me around in their life and be in mine. and share mutual spaces together. But it is a lot of conversations, and it's been a lot of figuring things out. It's been a lot of hearing things that are hard to hear, and it's been a lot of understanding things that I didn't think were happening. Anything I explain, that I take a pause to explain, I'm giving context. I don't mean to make any excuses at all, because this is Angel's pain, and while my heartbreak and pain that I'm currently feeling is valid, and it's going to be used for me to grow as a person, a lot of this is respecting the fact that I did a lot to somebody that I love. I have a couple of other things that are unrelated to Angel and I that have been weighing a lot on me, but that's for another time. This is currently just accountability, but it has been a really hard week outside of just Angel and I. Excluding the breakup, there's been a lot happening in my home life and health life. But no matter what, I need to talk about this, and yeah. Again, I have a big old post. It's like 4 pages of stuff that I'll be posting on Twitter, Blue Sky, and linking on Discord. I minimized how much it was, okay? So I do want to bring up that this isn't just some random thing that I decided to do. This isn't just some, like, spur of the moment, I want to feel better about myself. I have brought this up to Angel, I've brought this up to friends, and I've sat with this myself. So I want to give context first and talk about everything. Angel and I have been together for 3 years, but I've known them for about 4 to 5-ish. I think it's more 4, yeah. No, 5 would be 2019. I've known them for 4 years, and we've been dating for 3. I met them at the peak of COVID through Stream Friends, and they were immediately one of my best friends. And we both were in really, really extremely toxic relationships, and upon getting out of them, leaned heavily on each other. And we were already very close, and it kind of was a natural relationship. This first year that we were dating is the only time I will ever talk about Angel and I's back and forth. Because the first year we were butting heads a lot. We were both not good for each other, clearly. We were both very, very fresh out of toxic relationships, and we were trying to repair what we didn't know was broken, and we had that with each other. We tried to grow together. We tried to find tools to work on each other and to work on ourselves. We had our spats, we had our love, and we had a lot of different things ebbing and flowing throughout all of it. We lost friends, we made new friends. It was a lot. And the most important thing about all of it was it was a lot of growing pains, but every single time we always knew that we still wanted to continue, no matter how hard it got. And that wasn't because we didn't have anybody else, but we knew that each other could get through it. That was mainly the first year. We both made a lot of steps to better ourselves and have coping tools we both have BPD, communication and physical health and all of that. The second year is where the cracks start to show. And this is where I'm going to start talking about what I've done. Angel and I were never a perfect relationship, but especially not from outside. A lot of people have seen the cracks, and a lot of people haven't. But a lot of the second year of us dating, which would be 2023 if I'm not mistaken, was finding our footing in life around each other. If the first year was us learning to be together, the second year was us learning to be ourselves while being together. And they did a lot. They constantly found better coping mechanisms for their BPD. They were working all of the time, putting away savings. They were making plans with friends and trying to figure things out. They were pushing themselves forward quite often. And a lot of the time I was in a depressive stupor. I was focusing primarily on Twitch streams, and I put a lot of my time and energy into Twitch streams. Angel showed a lot of concern because they wanted to have energy for themselves as well. At this point, we didn't have like a date night. We just kind of existed around each other all the time. So when they were at work, I was there. When I was streaming, they would call me. When they were streaming, I would call them. But a lot of the time, it was very one-sided. I put 100% of my energy into my stream because, well, like I always told them, it's kind of the only physical thing I can do. It's one of the only jobs that I've ever been able to maintain for a long period of time. And so I constantly told them, even when they were genuinely desperate to just have a night with me together, that I wanted to, I'll call you, like, they would be having a very bad night where they needed me to be there. And I would say, I'll wrap up stream soon. Then I would get a raid and keep going for 30 more minutes, or I would go for another hour. And that wasn't a one-time thing. This happened enough times that it was genuinely bad. Additionally, whenever we would have arguments about things, like for instance how we would say something, tone of voice, wording, certain banter things we didn't like, and certain things along those lines, despite there being days where we did get through it and talk about it and figure it out, a lot of the time I was very deflecting, I was very projecting, and I would constantly try to defend myself, no matter correctness or not. It didn't matter. I was very confrontational, and while neither of us ever yelled, there was always this undertone of anger, and that's something that I had stamped out for a long time of my personal thing of, I don't like yelling at all, but I still have an undertone of very, very bad anger, and that persisted a lot of the time. And they were always very worried about me. They would always give me a lot of reassurance. And again, I'm not downplaying any things that happened between us to make them look better. I simply just wasn't great. And they gave me a lot of that. And I'll talk about that in a bit. But a lot of the time, it was conversations and trying to talk through things. And I would find an excuse. I would be very cowardly and try to blame, explain my reasoning without giving a solution, or leaving it up to them to give me a solution to my problem. It was perpetual. It was very rare that a disagreement didn't go that direction. And I shredded a lot of their sense of self, their confidence in me, and everything along those lines. A lot of everything that was happening was tough because they wanted to see the best in me at all times, and I constantly gave them the worst, but they still stuck around. I had a lot of toxic behavior and defensive mannerisms that I had built up over time. And like I said, on the best of days, we could talk through something and genuinely lead to something. And on the worst of days, I would be very snappy and I would fire back or make it their problem and not mine. And this led to year 3. This is 2024. And I need to state this as no matter if you know who I'm talking about or not, please do not speak the name of what I'm going to be discussing. Because despite how frustrated I am about the situation behind the scenes, it's still important that this is about Angel and I's interactions and privacy still respected. As a lot of you know, Angel and I, in February, were discussing being polyamorous, and this came at a lot of conversation. And somebody had confessed to me, and I realized that I might have feelings for them as well, but I put all of that on hold immediately because I did not want to proceed with anything unless Angel was okay with it. We talked at length, and I told Stream a lot of the time that Angel was very patient with me as I got through a lot of my feelings and figured things out. The problem is, once they told me that they were okay with it, I jumped into things very fast. Almost immediately with this other person, and I latched onto them very quick. This person had just been out of a relationship, and so they attached to me as well, and Angel saw what happened at the start of our relationship in this person, but this person had known that us two were dating from the get-go, so it rubbed them extremely wrong, and understandably so, Angel was very defensive about all of this and very hesitant. I jumped into this very fast, and then amidst this, there was a lot of miscommunication, bad scheduling on my part, and I, in a lot of moments, would defend this person from people being rude about polyam in my chat or individual comments. And meanwhile, I would leave Angel up to dry for themselves, which was a recurring thing of somebody, be it a friend or a second partner or whatever, would get flack and I would jump to their defense, but then I would leave Angel to defend themselves. And this continued for long enough that Angel wanted to pull back from polyam, and while I immediately knew that I had to, I also lashed out very badly. I was upset, I was angry that I had to break someone else's heart at the behest of another person, and I told Angel that it was extremely hurtful, and I felt awful for what they're making me do. They understandably defended themselves. They explained to me why they felt the way that they did, and instead of accepting this and respecting what they had told me, even if it would hurt, I instead decided to go down the anger route, which was, again, horrible. This isn't me explaining things for me to feel better. This is, I did something extremely wrong, and this was the biggest crack in our relationship of, I lashed out at Angel and said that they were acting vindictive and paranoid just like they were the first year of our relationship. And that broke the trust that they had in me for the rest of us dating, because I fully trusted a different person than them and pushed them back 2 years of progress instead of accepting what happened and being there for them and them being there for me. Hearing this from Angel's perspective has given me a lot and has woke me up significantly, and I'll get to those conversations later, but that was the biggest wake-up call, and I would give anything in the universe to undo any of that. In learning about what I've been told about the other person who we had brought in, it has made this immensely harder, as the other person that I discussed this with, the other partner that I had for that short time, did not tell Angel and I the same information, which makes learning this even harder for me. Sorry, I'm really shaky. Between March and September of this year, it was kind of just a limbo. We had great days, we had bad days, we had good weeks, we had bad weeks. I started getting unhealthy, and because of that, I started to naturally lean very hard on Angel for support, to just be there for me. Angel, who had wanted distance now because of what I had done, felt it obligated to be there for me, but they were doing their absolute best to hide how much I hurt them while still being there for me and try to rebuild. And I don't want to go over all of this because this is the hardest time. They told me that since that moment, it was nearly impossible to look at me the same way. And I understand. But Angel had made a lot of progress. We both did. But I once again fell back into my own things. A lot of recurring things is when I would fix something, be it myself or our relationship, I would slip in a week or two. And this was recurring between the both of us, but a lot of the time Angel put in a fuck ton of work. And I mean a lot of work. Angel started working a lot more. Had a lot of co-workers, friends, was more lively and excited, and they were getting attention they deserved, which is great. And I was diagnosed with a new chronic illness, and I was very unhealthy, and I was leaning on Angel hard. During all of this time, I constantly would tell Angel that I felt lonely and that they were ignoring me. I would continue to use all of my energy, minimal now, even less spoons, fully on stream, because I was doing better with stream, far better than I thought I'd ever would, and I leaned all of my spoons into stream. And this meant that the time where Angel did spend time with me, I was miserable, or I was unenergetic, or I just slept all day. And granted, there's some understandable things with bodily health and not wanting to do anything, but at the same time, I neglected a lot of Angel's feelings. I neglected a lot of our personal date days, and I didn't give them nearly the attention they deserved. And even with all of that, again, on our best days, I was low energy and didn't give them any proper treatment. And on our worst days, I was dismissive that they weren't doing enough for me or that they were too much. Whenever they tried to discuss it, it would be minimalized because I would remind them that I'm unhealthy or that I have low spoons, or I would find another excuse. And a lot of this was a pile-up. And eventually that got to the last month of our relationship in October, where it happened enough times, it built up enough times, and it stacked enough times that when they had one bad week and I laid into them for these things that I had been frustrated about, that again, they didn't deserve. And I mean that. That was the last straw. The trust I had lost in February and the build up to everything in October was a lot. I was very selfish, I was very unkind, and I was very bullheaded about everything that happened in our relationship. even when I thought we were doing well, I was oblivious to the pain that I had caused. They told me a lot of, when we talked, they talked a lot about how awful it felt that I couldn't even tell that they were being distant and hurt from everything. I owe it to Angel to not minimize any of the pain that I have done. I owe it to Angel to talk about how much damage I've done, because I not only hurt them with miscommunication and blaming accusatory actions, blaming them, deflecting blame from myself, and so on. Any steps that I would take for my life, if they ever went wrong, I would lean on Angel for them very hard. When moving fell through, I got very depressed, and Angel got the brunt of that. Not in that I was cruel, but in that I expected them to be there fully. And while yes, relationships are a two-way street of giving and receiving and being open with your partner and being there for them, when someone is there for you and you tell them that they're not doing enough despite being there every single day, it ruins their sense of perception of themselves. And I did that a lot. It was a constant, and it was a build-up, and again, I would do anything to undo all of it. And I want to talk about the conversations that Angel and I have had since then. Angel and I, shortly after we broke up, had some talks. They had no intention of talking to me. The only reason they did is because their coworker stopped them from blocking me one night. Angel didn't necessarily want to, but they were in an extremely big emotional state, and they wanted to block me. And their coworker just said, hear him out. And that is the only reason that they had talked to me. They have since told me that they do not regret talking to me and reaching out, that they're glad that they did because they didn't want to lose our friendship. But I am very grateful to that coworker for telling them, because I wouldn't know how much damage I did, and I wouldn't have the chance to talk about this, and I wouldn't have the chance to heal, and I wouldn't have the chance to get the sobering conversations that I did. The first conversation we had was a lot of Angel explaining to me everything that I've done, everything that I've just told you, but in much more detail, heartbreaking detail. And I went into that call assuming that I could magically win them back. And they made it very abundant that I had done more than just this single month of damage or these tiny little cracks here and there that we've patched over. This has been a long-standing thing. And they told me all of it. And I listened. I absorbed it. I wrote every single thing down. And I begged to still be in their life, because I know that they're my best friend. And I know that I love them, and I always will. And during this night, they were angry and frustrated at everything, and barely allowed me to continue talking. The other nights were better, and I'll get to that, but this first night was the most emotional one. And by the end, I had told them I promised them that I would work on myself and be better, that they would see it, and they had told me that they don't necessarily believe it because I went back on so many promises in my life and in our relationship. And I understood. The next time we had a talk, the next day, they reached out to me. And that one is the reason that I'm pushing myself the hardest. Because we didn't talk about anything. We just watched TikToks for 4 hours. And we just left. And they told me they wanted to talk about things, and we got distracted, and it was just us for a moment. And while I know it's not the us that it was, it's still the 4 years I'd known them. And it was still the angel that I love, and we were just laughing at things. And it was good. And the third conversation was the most, where they would ask me directly why I did certain things. And that was the moment that I told myself that I am not going to be answering this as if I'm trying to find a way out, to find an excuse. I'm not going to try to explain my actions. I have to say what I did. I have to say what deep flaw caused this to happen. What is the larger picture with this? Not just, how were you feeling in the moment? Oh, why didn't you defend me when this person said this about me? It shouldn't... It's not just, oh, I felt like this in that moment. No. I had to dig deeper than that. And it was a lot. And it was 5 to 6 hours. I don't even remember. The sun came up by the time we were done talking. And we got through a lot. We talked about so many things. And it was, again, sobering. It was realizing how much I had done, be it tiny and imperceivable or a crashing wave that I expected them to deal with. By the end of it, they told me a few things. They told me that on their stream, they had also brought up that they'll always love the time that we had together. They'll always love me. They'll always have me in their heart. I think we both said in our own spaces that they'll always be the love of my life. And while it may not be true to a relationship sense, they are somebody that crossed my life and I didn't want to leave immediately. And no matter what happens, they are someone who my soul is linked to, and I don't want to lose that, so I'm making everybody and myself the same promise that I made Angel, which is I'm not stopping until I'm better. I wrote everything down, and there will not be a day that goes by that I do not try to improve. This week I have noticed that I have been treating this much like tortoise in the hare, and I've been trying to sprint through as much as I can, and I caught myself, and I already know a lot of what I need to do to improve, but I need to take a lot of time, because as much as I would like things to be done now and fast, that was the biggest thing in a lot of our relationship cracks, is I wanted things to be fixed fast. I wanted things to be done now. I have to let things breathe. I need to work on things slowly. I need to get through this. And I need to do it for me. And I need to do it because I've hurt someone that I love with my whole heart. And it's going to take time. And I don't know what moving forward looks like for me. I'm very supportive of how they're feeling about somebody else right now, even though it hurts. But I also know that I can't push myself to accept pain, even if it is in support of somebody else. I need my space and I need my time. But I just want their pain to be recognized and to be respected. And I wanted to come forward and say all of this because a lot of you have seen me interact negatively in these tiny ways, even here. I've had to send very large apologies to people that I care about, be it in the community, be it friends, or be it other streamers that I love. I've had to deeply apologize for my actions because I thought I had a cap on things. And I would think that things are one-time interactions that would be frustrating. And they aren't. And that's just the truth of it, is that they aren't. There's far more to it. There's something deeper. And there's a lot more I need to work on than just one or two things. I have to root this garden from the ground up. I have to rebuild a lot of stuff. And that's going to be a long, long journey. And I don't know when I'm going to be normal again. I don't know when I'm going to be the same energy or the same whatever. It's going to be time. It's going to be days where I need to mask, and I'm going to be very talkative about that, of just, there are going to be days where I'm not okay and I just have to pretend. And I'm going to ask you guys to pretend with me. But it's going to be a journey. And I'm saying all of this because Angel is indeed the person that I love the most in the world. I love a lot of people. And I want to grow love for more people. And there's a person right now that I want to talk to more than anyone. And they're lovely, but right now I need to focus on repairing myself, because if I want to grow love with anybody else, it can't be through this lens that I had of myself, where I had this garden of rotted, dead plants that I thought were sprawling, that I pretended were gorgeous and blooming. I have to take everything out, uproot all of it, and plant a lot of new seeds, and take a lot of care for the garden. And that is the goal. And Angel made it very clear I need to grow for me, not just for them. And Angel still wants to be in my life and be friends and grow into best friends again over time. And I don't want to lose that. So I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to be as strong as I can. And there's a lot more going on than just this that have shaken a lot of my hope, but I am going to do my absolute best to be as strong as I can, or at the very least, take my time to build that strength up. There are going to be days where I don't want to stream. There are going to be weeks where I don't want to do anything. There are going to be times where I don't have the energy. And that's okay. And that'll be okay. one of the most important things that happened between Angel and I talking was me learning a lot of my personal tools that I needed to utilize. It's easy in hindsight to start fixing things and to see what's wrong. And while retrospectively I've started doing things that I should have done in the first place, I need to do them. I need to, no matter what. They wanted a lot more attention. They wanted me to write things down more so I can remember them, and they wanted me to be much more focused when it came to certain conversations, and I didn't give them that. And giving them that now is unfair, and giving that to other people is unfair, but I have to learn and I have to start doing it. And they understand that. And one of the biggest things is when we were talking about each other's documents that we've been writing, because they're not trying to put they've told me a lot that they're not trying to make this like a hit piece. It's just, they went through a fuck ton. And they want it to be known because they don't want people asking a million questions. And when we were talking about both of our sides of things, a lot of stuff came up that didn't cross right. People telling me something and them something else. And it opened a lot of eyes for me. And it hurt very, very badly. And I felt a lot of my hope dwindle as a lot of people that I held very close were much more harmful than I had realized. And the one thing that hit me the hardest, in a good way, is Angel said that at the start of us talking again, they were unsure if this could ever work again. Friends, relationship doesn't matter, but if it could ever work again. But they've seen what I have done. They've heard me write things down. They've seen me put in the work and put in the effort. And they said that they believe in me. And they might not be able to say what they wanted to say. They told me they have it's going to take them a lot of time because they want to be there for me like our relationship was. But they can't do that. Not for me, not for themselves. Because it'll open it back up and that'll hurt too much. But hearing that they believe in me and believe in my ability to do things, my ability to grow, has meant a lot. Has meant the world. And I don't intend to squander that. I don't intend to misuse the opportunity they've given me, and I certainly don't intend to stop this growth. If it was easy, it would have been done a long time ago, because I know I keep taking the easy road. And this is going to be hard. And I have to stick with it. And I have to focus on it, and I have to maintain that. I'm not asking for anyone to hold me accountable. I'm not asking for anyone to help me. I have to do this myself. What I am telling all of you is that I have done a lot of damage to somebody that I care about and that I love. I have been a very abusive partner. It doesn't matter how unintentional or intentional it was during any of this. Be it intentionality would be clearly fucking horrible, but what I mean by that is, it doesn't matter the level of however it was. I did a lot. I abused somebody that I love deeply. And this is not a roll call. Please don't tell me yes or no. You don't need to. But I'm bringing this up a lot because if people no longer wish to be in this space because of that fact, I would understand. I don't harbor any ill will, and I'm genuinely understanding of if it needs to happen, it needs to happen. I don't want to get on stream all the time and pretend that I hold myself accountable and then do this to somebody and expect everything to be hunky-dory, you know? This is a lot. And it's a healing journey. Because a lot of you have seen me be very snappy with people in chat. It's not just behind closed doors, but the healing will come from off stream. I'm not trying to heal just to be a public figure that seems nicer. I'm not trying to heal in order to come across as a better community leader. I'm healing behind closed doors because that will affect the entirety of my life. If I heal just in front of everybody on stream, if I heal just to maintain this chat, then I'm still not prioritizing what I need to. A lot of healing is going to be over time, and it's going to be off stream, and it's going to be behind closed doors. But I'm going to be doing it in any tiny way, be it health things, leaving notes around for myself, pulling up a whiteboard in my room so that way I can leave reminders for things that I need to do, journaling to get through emotions and have daily affirmations, and what I need to work on, what's been improving, what's been degrading, and putting in as much work as I possibly can. Not burning myself out to remake this shape, but focusing on making sure that everything that I've done and all the pain that I've caused wasn't for nothing, because I may not be able to get my relationship back the same that we had, and I don't expect Angel to be, and they've told me that it's more than likely not a thing that's going to happen. They're not going to say no, but I did a lot of damage. But they want to be my friend. Because our friendship meant the world to them. Our love meant the world to them. And there is still a lot of love between us. It's just currently clouded by all of the pain. And that cloud's not going to go away with a single season. That cloud's not going to go away with a week of progress. We have to completely ground up rebuild things, but I want that friendship back, and I believe they do too, and so I'm working on it. A lot of this is circular. Angel even laughed at me in a funny way for how many times I repeated myself in my posts or in our talks. I yap in circles. A lot of you know that. I will hydrate. It's going to take a non-zero amount of time. It's going to take a very, very long time. And I'm going to be doing my absolute best. I'm just, it hurts that I got this far. Heartbreak's not going to vanish anytime soon. I'm always gonna love them. And we'll see where it goes. But no matter what, we're gonna work on our friendship. And we're still in each other's spaces. We still talk to each other. In DMs, we've still had casual calls. We're just not what we used to be. And I'm still giving myself space from certain parts of their life so I can heal. And they're giving themselves space from certain parts of my life so they can heal. We'll still be in mutual spaces, so we're still going to be talking a lot in Vines and whatnot. I've already been in their stream, and it's going to take a lot of time for a lot of things to happen. But, yeah. I'm someone who doesn't take heartache well. I'm going to snooze the last ad, I'm sorry. I'm someone who doesn't take heartache well. It takes me a very, very long time to rebuild my sense of self. I get very hopeless. I get very lost. I get very lonely. I've reached out to a lot of friends. I owe a lot to a lot of people. I owe so much to a lot of people. I had friends that reached out to me every single night. And I had people who allowed me to go into their calls with them and just exist. And to those people, I am immensely grateful. I can list them off easily, and I reached out to each of them personally because I really wanted to tell them what had happened. Another thing about all of this is Angel and I have agreed to keep a lot of the stuff that we've sent each other and to give it new memories, or at the very least to not delete the old ones, but just to overwrite it for the time being. And still have art for each other. Yeah. I think a hard thing for me is whenever I'm trying to change, I push myself in the way of a lot of pain because I keep thinking that I deserve the worst treatment and that I don't deserve good treatment. And I need to remind myself that my healing is going to come from rebuilding my sense of self, being as safe as I can with how I interact with things. Because hurting myself just to get over something isn't going to heal. But it's going to be hard because a lot of what I want to do is to push myself towards things that hurt a lot right now. Not in a horrible way, not in a heavy way, but just I need to remind myself that I can keep boundaries. But a lot of this is accountability. And I wanted to talk about all of this because they mean the world to me. And that's not going to go anywhere. I do need to learn how to forgive myself, and that's going to take time as well. And I think a lot of what I've built up for my lifetime is waiting for somebody else to tell me that I have done this or done that, or I'm doing well or doing bad. I need to be able to tell myself, and then that healing and that progress will show, and then others can tell me themselves instead of me asking for it. It's gonna take time. And I'm not gonna be 100% for a long time. I take heartbreak very, very poorly. I lose my appetite, I lose my energy, I lose my excitement. On the days where I have it, it's gonna be a mask. At least for a long time. This isn't just a thing I can paint over in a month. This was 3 years of my life. This was a lot of future plans that may never come to fruition. This was a lot. And I'm telling you all this because I don't want to lose hope. And I don't want to ever do this to anybody ever again. I never want to hurt somebody I love like this. And I refuse to. And if at any point I slip up, if I take one step backwards, I'm never taking another step back ever again. I am on a climb, and this is the first tiny step up the mountain. And I'm holding onto a tiny flicker that has been given to me very graciously by somebody that I love that doesn't necessarily need to love me back right now, but they do. And I'm carrying this flame until it's roaring again. And I'm going to be working on it a lot. There's going to be a lot of times where I will tell you guys that I'm not doing well and I'm just masking on a day. Maybe I won't tell you, maybe you'll find out, maybe you'll know, maybe it'll be easy and obvious, but I'm going to be masking a lot. But during this time, I would appreciate everybody to... I mean this in the sincerest way possible. Not ask how I'm doing. For a long time, it's not going to be easy. And yeah. I've done a lot of damage and I don't intend to ever do it again. And for any tiny time I slip up, the ebb and flow, these small moments where I'm gonna have hiccups, those will be reminders that growth is still happening and that I have to still look for cracks. I was told a lot of the cracks that I have, and I'm starting to work on it from the ground up, but I still have to find the ones that I couldn't. And that comes with time, and that comes with vulnerability, and that comes with understanding. I don't have anything else to talk about. And I think that was a good enough hour of talking about it. There's been a lot going on, and I owe a lot to a lot of people who are there for me. I reached out to people a lot, and I know I'm not necessarily alone. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that is putting me in a really hard spot, but I am very grateful to everybody who is just still here, who spent sleepless nights listening to me stutter through sentences because of how scared I was, and I'm unendingly grateful to Angel for giving me what I needed to hear. They did not have to tell me anything, but they wanted me to grow as a person because they believe in me. And if the person that I hurt the most believes in me, then I need to believe in myself even a little bit. So that's where I'm going with it. I know I can do it. I made them a promise, and I intend to keep that. I will. I will keep that promise. It's gonna be a long journey. It's going to be tumultuous. It's going to be hard. But I made them a promise that I will work on myself for me. Importantly, for me. The point of me trying to work on myself is not to win them back magically. It's to make sure that I don't cause that pain again. Because even if I were to say the perfect thing and they wanted to try again, if I don't make any progress on myself for myself, then I'm falling right back to where I was. This is also a promise to all of you. I know I've heard a lot of people in this chat before. I know I've said bantery things that have been hurtful. And I know I've said I've gone too far with jokes before. I know I've made things more personal than they should. I definitely know. And that's changing. And I'm working on it no matter what. I'm not gonna let whatever this shit that I've built over the years win. I'm not letting all of the pain that Angel dealt with be for nothing. And I'm gonna do my absolute best. I'm not gonna waste the opportunity. And I appreciate all of you for being here for this. It means the world to me. A couple of close friends told me that I don't need to do this. I don't need to post a document. And while that's technically true, I don't need to come out here and talk about all this. I don't need to post a document about it. I'm somebody who has been so selfish and played the blame game for so long. I have ran away from so many things and so many problems. I have pushed myself back and tried to make somebody else solve something for me for so long that I can't do something like that. I can't not talk about this. So I'm sorry if this is jarring or out of nowhere. I'm sorry if this is not what you wanted to see out of this. Or I'm sorry if you're sitting there thinking, why does any of this matter? It matters to me. I spent 3 years with somebody who is spectacular, and they are the moon in the sky, and they are so fucking wonderful. They are so beautiful and they are so breathtaking with how fantastically they've grown. And I smothered a lot of that. And I would feel horrible with myself if not only did I not address and take accountability for having done what I have done, but if I had also gone on like nothing happened. I know there's a lot of in between. There's a lot of things to pick apart with how you process heartbreak and how you go through this, but I was told everything I had done. And it wasn't this accusatory, you did this, I feel like you did that, like this thing that you said came off this way. I understood everything that I had said. I realized how much of it was true. I realized how much I had done over the years. And I couldn't do nothing anymore. So this is me doing something. This is me starting a journey. A very long one. One that will not have immediate results. One that's not going to suddenly flash me into this picture-perfect version of myself. A lot of this will not be a visual change. A lot of this will not be anything. This is personality. This is relationship. This is habits that I have to break. And I won't know until I continue to grow and push myself. Angel has a fantastic safety net, and I know that they're already healing very well. I'm happy for them and I'm proud of them. Because even alongside what I was doing to them, I could see how well they were doing, and I could see how much they were building. So yeah. I don't think I have anything else. I know a lot of you guys tell me I can talk in circles all I want. Rambling is fine. I just don't think rambling is right now. I said everything I needed to say. And I have a lot to look forward to. I have a lot to do. I have a lot to work on. And growth isn't linear. And it's going to be an uphill climb. And I don't intend to squander any opportunity that I've been given. I don't intend to misuse the trust that I've been granted. And I'm very grateful to Angel for talking with me about everything. Not just to get out their frustrations with me as a partner, but also because it sobered me up and they know I needed to hear it for me to grow and for them for closure. For them for their own healing. They didn't just ask me all those questions just so I can hear it, just so I can hurt, just so I can be affected, just so I can do this or that. They also asked me all those things because they needed to heal, they needed to know, and they needed to grow. So, yeah. That is the extent of it. That is all I'm going to do for stream today. That's all I've got. Thank you all for this. I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna see about streaming tomorrow. But I said what I said. I got what I needed to. And it's just a climb from here. So thank you all for listening. Whether or not you care about anything that happened, but thank you. I am reading all of these, by the way. But yeah, thank you all. And don't just be there for me. If you're also a part of Angel's community, be there for them too. That doesn't mean spam their DMs. It doesn't mean all of that. But when you see that they're hurting, be there for them too. I'm always going to love the hell out of them. That's not going to go anytime soon. And they've told me the same. And that love, be it anything, whatever feeling it is the strongest love I've ever felt. And I'm really grateful no matter where it ends up. Thank you all for being here. I don't know what tomorrow brings. I'm trying to get back on schedule with streams. I don't know if they're going to go long. I haven't really had an appetite, so energy's very low. And my health condition is getting worse. So, we'll see where that leads. But energy and power willing, I'll try to play something soon. Try to play something tomorrow. I'll see how it goes. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here on the first step of my healing journey. And I appreciate you all so much. Good night, y'all.